Hello everybody, this is VG Rothko, and welcome to my Valheim base tour video. I brought you to this spot today to show you the humble beginnings from which I came. I still remember my first night in the dangerous world of Valheim. I was running through the forest, seeking refuge from the perilous night and the terrors that lurk within it, when I stumbled across this abandoned hut. I sought refuge from that night within the walls of this dilapidated structure. As you can see, I have nothing but a straw bed, a small campfire, and a crafting bench to my name here. After surviving that night, I endured many dangers. I chopped countless trees, acquired the flint axe that you see on my back. I recall sailing across the vast ocean to find rare resources guarded by truly dangerous beasts. And after many, many hours of struggle, I overcame this land and have become much stronger for the process. Truly, I don't think I've had this much fun with a video game since The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. And today, I would like to show you the fruits of all my labors. What you see here is what I once was. This is what I am now. And this is my home in Valheim. After many hours, I have obtained some of the best gear possible in this game and gathered countless resources to craft the base that you see before you. Today I would like to spend a few minutes showing you around my creation and recounting some of the adventures that I've been on during my many hours with this game. First, allow me to take you into the front gate here. As the sun sets, I am constantly reminded how beautiful this game is. For a game that's only about 1 gigabyte in size. As we enter the first gate, we are greeted by my portal area. As you can see, I've made a number of portals and labeled them all appropriately. This one here will take you to the sacrifices area, where I can choose which power-up I am using. This one takes you to the merchant of the Black Forest, who I discovered during a sailing expedition in search of a swamp. I was fortunate enough to discover this merchant and purchase an item that allows me to carry very heavy amounts of materials. Next to him, we have the Elder portal. This will allow me to fight the Elder boss again, should I ever choose to. It is also the place where I have currently made my most important farm, where I farm barley flour and flax, which is required for some of the best food items and some of the best armor, including that which I am wearing. Next to it, we have the mountain portal, which takes me to the frozen mountains. The swamp portal, where I can mine iron should I ever need it. The bone mass portal, which will allow me to fight the swamp boss, the bone mass again. And my most recent adventure to the very dangerous plains. The plains are the true endgame content of this game, with the most most perilous enemies, and some of the best drops in terms of resources available, including fine wood, black iron, cloudberries, and lox meat and lox pelts. Over here we have my travel portal. This is a convenience that I would recommend all players of this game use. When you are sailing the vast oceans, be sure to create a portal and carry the materials to connect to it from wherever you may travel. Here we have my portal to the deep north. I once ventured to the very edge of the map, the vast, frozen Arctic wasteland that is the deep north is truly dangerous, and what lies at the very edge of the world is something every player should experience at least once. Beyond my portals, you can see I have my outdoor staging and storage area, as well as my cooking area here, which I will now show you. Coming up these stairs, we arrive at my cozy kitchen. I have a number of roasts where I can place the succulent meat from my hunting quarry, as well as a cauldron within which I can brew meads and various potions and stews to fill my Viking stomach. Over here we have various assortment of food items stored in these chests here. For example, I have a chest filled with lox meat, as I mentioned, from the plains. These are giant buffalo-like creatures that drop these massive chunks of meat that are required to craft lox meat pies and roasted lox meats, which are some of the best food items in the game, which also, of course, require barley flour. Over here we have my agriculture area. My honey beehives over there, from which I can harvest honey for meads. These are carrot seeds that I am currently cultivating, and a large crop of turnips here to be used in stews. This right here is my fermenter. Within it I can craft potions and meads, such as instant HP potions and poison resistance or frost resistance potions. We'll next take a trip over to my storage and staging area. Here I have stored all of the various items from the monsters I have slain and resources I've gathered. Everything from the goo which drops from slimes to a box full of stones. I have gathered a truly remarkable amount of resources in this game, and eventually I think I will need to expand this to a third shelf even if I continue at the rate I have been playing. Over here we have my spare gear. Currently I keep a few items that I will potentially need, such as a harpoon, which I'll use to hunt sea serpents, or this key, which is required to open the crypts of the swamp, which contains valuable iron ore. This headlamp allows you to illuminate even the darkest of caverns and abysses at all times. I'll give you a view of my portal area from the deck here. I'm very pleased with how it turned out, and I think eventually I may need to expand it further outward, or perhaps place more portals in this area below the staging zone. Up from my staging zone we have this small little patio where Vikings can commiserate and share tales of their epic adventures. Beyond that, over here we have my forging area and external storage. In these boxes I keep things such as the materials required to craft powerful arrows and obsidian thread from my flax, which I've processed in my plains flax farm, and other various important resources. I also keep my windmill up here, up on this hill perched where the wind can most effectively turn its blades. This item is required to process barley flour, which, as I mentioned before, creates some of the best healing items in the entire game. Past that, in this direction, we have my crafting and repair stations. This is my forge, which is currently level 7, and my workbench, which is currently level 5. I believe these are the maximum levels you can currently get in this version of the game. It may be possible to get a level 6 workbench, but I have not yet figured out how to do that. Now, the main attraction of my base is my keep or castle here. This is the upper entrance, which allows me to easily access it from my crafting area. But the main entrance here is where I usually like to enter. As you can see, there is a fancy throne right behind the hearth. As a whole, I am very pleased with the design of this room, and I'm not quite sure what else to add to it at this point. Over here we have my spare gear. Should you die in this game, you respawn at the last bed that you rested at, and if I need to run to my gravestone, I access this chest here to pull out my most powerful backup set of gear. As you can see, I progressed through the entire previous silver armor set before upgrading to the full padded armor. On this side of the room, we have my valuables chest. I keep all of my rubies, amber, and amber pearls within it, as well as all of my spare coins, for which I can use at the vendor. On top of this platform, we have my luxurious bed and throne, from which I can sit and observe. Over here we have a small feast that I've prepared, including some lox meat pie, some ale, and some roasted lox meat. On this table I've prepared an array of potions and meads, ranging from frost resistance to stamina and health potions. Finally, I'll take you upstairs here to show you the upper deck. Currently, I have not done much up here except place a few iron torches, but it does provide you with a nice view of the full base. As well as the valley below, and even the beautiful open ocean, which you can see if it were not currently storming. As a final part of the tour, I will also share with you my secondary farm. If we take a quick trip through the Elder Portal, it will take you to my barley farm. Fortunately, I have a fairly decent computer and load times are pretty quick. As I mentioned, the plains is one of the most dangerous locations in the entire game. So I have created this window, which allows me to survey the landscape for any immediate threats outside before I progress down the stairs to my farm area. It appears that there are no dangerous creatures lurking beyond the walls, at least for the time being. With a quick trip down the stairs here, we can see my barley farm. This crop here is required to create flour, which allows me to create lox meat pies and berries. The plains biome is the only place where this crop can grow. If you attempt to plant it at your home base in the meadows, for example, it will wither and die, so you must create a secondary base. This is a view of the structure that I have created for my portal and various crafting stations. This machine here allows me to process black iron, which is required to create the axe and shield that I am currently wielding. This machine here allows me to spin flax into thread. The loom is required to create the padded armor, which I am currently wearing. And this item here is an artisan's workbench, which is required to create both the loom and the dragon forge. I've also set up a small training dojo here. If you have a campfire and you are under shelter, you are given a stamina regeneration bonus. So what you can do is, in my case, use this rock and continuously attack it with whichever weapon you want to level up. Attacking a rock counts as a hit, and if you register enough hits, you will eventually level your weapon ability. You can also set up a platform like this and repeatedly jump underneath it to train your jumping skill, taking advantage of the fire and the shelter to regenerate your stamina faster. Just a small tip for some of you players out there. Well, that is essentially it for my base currently. Again, I'm very pleased with its progression, and I think I've done a good job in creating at least interesting looking structures such as this rock facing building. But as a whole, we'll take one last look at the base from the hilltop. Here's the view from my keep while it is not raining. As you can see, I have quite the pleasant vista from the top of this platform here. I truly do think the graphics in this game are fantastic. Perhaps it's the lighting system that really does it the most justice. But as you can see, there is so much to see and explore in this game, and so much vast ocean to sail in your Viking longships. Perhaps in a future video I will have created a dock area for you guys to see, and perhaps we can do some adventuring even. I'm not sure how relaxing the adventuring in this game would be, because it can truly be quite perilous, especially out at sea if you're hunted by a sea serpent. But this is the view of the base from within the keep as well. And then once more, from the top of that hill, you can see the starter structure, the tiny little shack that I spent my first perilous night in. Well, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found it relaxing and perhaps interesting if you were playing this game and would like to see the type of base that other players have created. I truly do think this is a fantastic, fantastic video game, and I would 100% recommend you play it if it sounds even remotely interesting. Some of the greatest adventures I've had in a video game in recent memory have come from this game, and I'm extremely happy to have had the chance to play and adventure through its vast and dangerous world. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you all have a very pleasant and relaxing evening. Good night.